Hi guys, welcome to Dear Dev, our safe space, our corner, our comfort zone where we figure out tech together without feeling weird or awkward. So let's dive in. Today we are discussing beginner mistake that has to do with the misconception between stop propagation and event.preventDefault. Event.preventDefault and event.stopPropagation. They look like they do the same thing, but that's not true. They are very, very different. Now come, let's look at my screen and understand what is going on. I have a div called parent, and inside the parent I have a button with an ID of child. It says click me. In my script, I have an event listener that says when I click on the parent, which is the parent, the div, when I click on the div with an ID of parent, I should get a log to the console saying parent clicked. Then I also have, after that script, another script that says when I click on the child, that is when I click on the element with the ID of child, I should get a log to the console saying child clicked. The child, which is the button, is inside the parent, which when I click on the div, I get parent clicked in my console. When I click on the button, I get child clicked. Then I get parent clicked. This beginner, me sometime in the past, was trying to prevent seeing parent clicked by adding event.preventDefault. But did you see that it did not have any effect? Because despite the event.preventDefault, I still see parent clicked. This happens because when you do a click event, it bubbles upward to the parent of the element you are clicking on. So when you do a click of a child, you are also doing a click of the parent. If you don't want that click to affect the parent, then you need to stop it. Say, oh, don't bubble upward. But people tend to use event.preventDefault to prevent the bubbling upward. That's not it. To prevent it from bubbling, you use stop propagation, not prevent default. Prevent default is supposed to do something else, which we'll discuss later. But in the scenario that we are trying to resolve here, where when we click the child, we only want the child to respond, and when we click the parent, we only want the parent to respond, then what we use here is stop propagation, saying, don't bubble this event upward. It's just for me. I don't want to share my events. So I have stop propagation. So now let's click again on the parent and see. I click on the parent, I get parent clicked. I click on the child, I get child clicked. The child is no longer sharing the event because I said stop propagation, stop sharing my event, leave it to me alone. So at this point, you don't use prevent default, you use stop propagation. Don't move my event, don't move my event upward, don't give it to my parents, it's just for me. When you click me, I only want to be the one that responds. So the only time we don't use stop propagation is when we want to see the effect we saw earlier, which is displaying the event for both the child and the parent. So if when you click on the button, you want the div and the button to respond, then you can remove stop propagation. Other than that, if who you want to refer to is just the baby, the button, then you need stop propagation to make sure that the event is not shared, it's not bubbled upward to the parent. Alright, now the second misconception is when we use stop propagation to prevent the browser from doing what it normally does. On this same script we have our form with an ID of my form. and a button inside. We want to enter information and send the information to the server. But before sending it to the server, we want to do one or two things. We don't want the page to reload. We want something to happen in between. We possibly want to say, do some code that submits the form. Code that submits form using, let's say, Ajax, and then form submission. So basically, we are saying that we want to submit the form without letting the user know that we submitted the form, without reloading our page. And then we use event.stopPropagation. I come here, it says enter channel. I enter JDev and I submit. The page loads and I don't see what I'm supposed to log to my console. As I said, we are using the wrong thing. Event.stopPropagation says don't share the events. What we really want to do here is to stop the browser from doing what it normally does. In this scenario, what we are supposed to use is prevent default, event.preventDefault. Hello browser, don't do what you normally do. So in submission of the form, we are saying, browser, don't do what you normally do. Do what I ask you to do below here. So when I come and enter JDev, and I submit, I get form submitted after the code that does something with the form has been run. So what we need to remember is that when you say stop propagation, you don't want to share the event. You don't want the baby and the parent to share the event that has occurred on the baby. And when you say prevent default, it's saying prevent the default action that happens on the browser. Prevent default action. Stop propagation means stop sharing. I hope this has been able to clarify the difference between stop propagation and prevent default and when to use any of the two. If you have any other questions, please drop them in the comment section below. Let's figure it out together. And I also want to know, as usual, if you have used this event.preventDefault when you are trying to stop propagation and how long it took you to figure it out. Let's laugh about it. Let's make the matter light because it's actually light. Let's like, subscribe and share this video if we want to see more of this. Thank you. See you some other time. Bye-bye.